Hey, Facebook. So we had some technical issues even getting this live started. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in here. We are late. So we're going to go ahead and get in. I'm waiting for Leslie to pop on in here. So as Leslie's getting on, I'm going to go ahead and share this out. So then that way we can go ahead and get started. Let's see. So give me a second. Let me go ahead and get on there. My biz page. And so we're gonna go ahead and just get this video started. So let me go ahead and share it on out. And then hey, we are going to there we go. Come on in, you guys. Come on in. Hey, Leslie. Hey. And Leslie, I'm gonna go ahead and get this shared out so that people can join us as well on this amazing conversation. Hey, lady. So give me a second. Let me share it on out, and then we'll go ahead and get them on in. And of course, I'll bring you on in here as well, Miss Leslie. And so we'll let me do one more place, and then we're ready to rock and roll. This amazing, what is this? A Friday? So let's see. Nope, that's not it. Come on in, and Leslie, you can let folks know that we are on here as well, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. I think we have it all now. I think we're ready to rock and roll, Leslie. There we go. So, So here we go. So yeah, we had some technical difficulties, but hey, we have now overcome what we have overcome. So we have overcome the difficulties. It's now shared out in a couple of spaces. So Leslie, definitely feel free to share out as well if you choose to do that. And then we're going to go ahead and get started because we are a few minutes late. So give me a second. So Leslie, I'm going to bring you on, okay? So Leslie, you should invite in a few seconds. So those of you that are hopping on in here, you guys come on in. Like I said, we do apologize for being late. We were using another platform and we could not get that other platform. So I said, Leslie, come on in, log on in early. She logged in early and we did it. So there we go. So Leslie, we're still gonna make this thing work. So you guys, hey. So Leslie, like I said, tag your people, let them know that we're ready. You guys, Beverly Wathour, business strategist for Christian female coaches. My goal is to help you, create your five-figure months. And then this particular case study, we have the amazing Leslie right on. So Leslie's going to talk to us about her journey. So Leslie, because we are late, we're going to go ahead and hop on into this conversation. So Leslie, tell the people who you are, as if they didn't know.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So hopefully you can hear me okay, and thank you for being on standby with the technical difficulties, but we're in here now. Happy Friday to you. My name is Leslie Wright, and I am the director and founder of Parties by Leslie Event Planning Company. I am also a business consultant, and I am, oh my goodness, the reel is long, an international best-selling author, public speaker, and I do Mary Kay. I have a lot of hats.
So,
Um,
so, you,
so
so
that
you
is who
just,
I am. Been in business for 11 years. So,
so just
yep,
all around awesome.
that's you.
Just all around awesome is what we're gonna
Yes.
say. Okay, I love it. I love it. So you guys, as you're coming on into the room, you guys, hey, come on in. You guys, make sure that you say hi, hello, hey. Once again, if you have coaches that are in your circle, go ahead, share this video out. Go ahead and tag them because Leslie's going to be dropping some nice little nuggets here on you guys because hey, we know that I always say it's enough room for everybody at the top. And so all of us that want to go, we are inviting you to come on to the top with us. So like I said, don't hide all of this, just the goodness from everyone. You guys come on in. I see you guys. Hey. So like I said, we do apologize for the lateness. Leslie, we tried though, didn't we? We really tried. We really tried. I had Leslie go in and out the room about 15 times. But we're gonna make it work here on Facebook Live. So Leslie just gave a quick introduction to herself. And so Leslie, kind of give them, because I could tell the story, but I want you to tell the story about our journey together. So how did we come across each other and just tell the amazing story?
Right. Well, once upon a time, there was there was a young lady who thought she was doing the darn thing, and I had merged out of doing weddings and events and trade shows, and became an author and a public speaker, and then started following individuals who were teaching people how to leverage their knowledge online. And I just started out with doing like little trade shows and featuring other businesses on my Facebook page online. Then I merged into building courses and selling programs. And I met Beverly. I believe someone referred me to her Facebook group, her free Facebook group, and I got in there and I was just like, who is this woman who looks like me, who is as powerful people loves God like I do and does not negotiate mentioning him in her platform. And so at the time, I was really powerful in events, but I knew that I wanted to move on and be able to coach others and leave a legacy. And so I said, I need someone to catapult me into this coaching arena and give me the encouragement, but also the information that I needed.
Yeah. And it's so funny, Leslie. I don't know if you remember now. I remember one of the first lives I remember meeting Leslie. I don't know if you remember. Leslie, do you remember that question you asked? Now, Leslie had been participating throughout the live, but do you remember that you asked me a question? Do you remember one of those questions that you asked me? It was toward the end of the live. Do you remember what it was?
I ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Y'all know I'm like, does she see my hand?
No.
I don't remember.
Let me tell you, this was the question that you asked me. You asked me at the end of that live, you said, have you made six figures? And so I'm like, who is this person all up in my business? Like, she don't even know me like that. But it was funny that you asked me that because at that point I hadn't done it. So this had to have been in 2017. It had to be in the 2017. And so that was kind of like, I'm like, well, dang, she just came out the blue. She didn't even know me like that and asked. I said, you know what? That's going to be part of my goal for 2018. So it was so funny. I remember that question so clearly. And I'm like, well, dang, let me go ahead and do the doggone thing then. So I can go ahead the next time she asks me, I can go ahead and tell her yes. So I remember that question so clearly. So now, Leslie, so let's fast forward. So we initially connected like at the end of 2017. So now, like, what kind of transpired in 2018? Like, how did we, so she got into my free Facebook group. So those of you, if you are faith-based coaches, that I do invite you to join my Facebook group, Highly Successful Christian Female Coaches. I think I can say that we're a pretty doggone cool Facebook group. I think I can say that, Leslie. I think so. Some of the members are in. So you guys,
be accurate.
Yeah, thank you. So Leslie, kind of walk us through what we did together in 2018.
Yeah, absolutely. So I just continue to show up in the Facebook community. So if you're in Facebook groups, you want to show up, you want to introduce yourself, let people know what your strengths are and what you're doing. And so I just started doing that, and I made sure I got real laser committed with being on every time she would go Facebook Live. I desired to know who this woman was and what she was all about. And so coming into 2018, I by then had several courses and programs out. I had participated in one of her challenges, and it was life-changing for me because I love challenges. I love competition. And I said, let's do this. And I got in her very first challenge, and I'll never forget, it was $27. And I remember that was all I had that week, and was just like, I'm going to give this, open-heartedly and sacrificially, right? Anybody been there? And so I took my little $27 and didn't think much of it. I said, I'm going to go in, I'm going to do the best I can. And I remember making my first four figures with Beverly, and I said, oh, I think I need to stay a little longer in this community, like it's getting good. And then from there, I just remember, just her being transparent about her growth, that every time she learned something that she would share it with us. And I said, man, like that's the type of following and relationship I want with my clients. I don't want to be at the top of the hill by myself and not take anyone with me. So in 2018, I made another executive decision to just keep investing. And so every time she had a challenge, or every time she requested for us to do something else to stretch ourselves a little bit further, I did that. And so I think my next thing was the Road to 5K. So huge shout outs to my Road to 5K sisters. Oh my God, how that changed our lives. And in that time period, we were asked to build a four-figure program or to move from our comfortable place in our pricing to an uncomfortable place intentionally. And so it was the first time that I had ever built a program of that magnitude. I took a course that I had that I thought was pretty good until I got in there. But I took it from $197 to $997. I sold 2 of those seats, and I really have just been sold ever since. Every single person that I can tell about Beverly, I do.
And so, that's the key. And Leslie mentioned a couple of things about stretching, because remember, Leslie, we did a discovery call. We did a sales call. And so you guys, anytime you hear me talk about the example of the person that has this 12-week program, Leslie, what was the price point of the 12-week program? Was it the $197? And it was your one-on-one, because remember you had a one-on-one $397. It was something crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it. No.
Yeah.
No. No, But you're right. The evolution of me, right? So when I met you, I was doing $27 courses. I think my largest course at the time was 197, and I thought I was doing it. 197 it was, you know, and I had 50 million people working with me in one-on-one. At first, I was $300 for every 3 months.
Yeah.
Which makes me squint now.
Yeah. But. And I remember saying to Leslie was like, but you know, once again, it was $397 or whatever. We'll go with $297. We'll go with that for 3 months. And Leslie was like, but Bev, they keep re-signing with me. I said, Leslie, I would re-sign with you too for $300 to work with you for 3 months, because I knew that she was pouring out into these people. I said, they would be crazy not to re-up with you. So that's what I remember from that. So I remember bits and pieces, and I remember that from that sales call, that was the one takeaway. So when you guys hear me talk about that example, like Leslie is that example. She is that example of that woman that was, you know, and it wasn't that she didn't realize how awesome she was. That wasn't what it was. But you guys, sometimes when you look in your circle of what's going on, you know, you do what you know to do. You do what's comfortable. And so Leslie, now kind of talk about, so you talked about your evolution of you even investing. And so the more that you invested, of course, the bigger the return. So for you, what were some of those internal shifts though that you had to make? Because it wasn't like you woke up, you know, on Monday and you were charging $197, and then on Tuesday you woke up and you were charging $19.97. So what were some of the internal shifts you had to make to get you to that space of really and truly charging more for your coaching services?
Right. Well, the first shift is that I had to get fed up. And I share that with everyone that I possibly can now. I had to get absolutely fed up with a lot of different things in my business. The first one was just the lack, right? I was helping other people make a ton of money. And I'm talking about $1 million ideas, but yet I could barely pay my power bill, right? And that's the ugly truth behind being an entrepreneur. A lot of us don't share that, but you know, we shouldn't be struggling, but we're building people who are making money. And so that was the first shift. I really had to get fed up with my own personal finances and where I was. The second thing was that I started noticing that a lot of the people who were struggling to pay me, or individuals who were coming to me who needed services, were also showing up at other places that I was in where I would go to get coaching. They were paying 3, 4, 5 times more than what I was charging. And so one shift that I had to make was, instead of getting angry about that, to take heed to that and change my prices and level up.
Yes. And so you guys, like I said, that internal shift, and when you guys hear me say, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you guys, that's the thing, because I know a lot of us, you know, and I'm talking to my believers right now, that can be a struggle too, because they will say, well, Bev, people are asked, how can I charge that price for this? And, you know, using my God-given talent. And wait a minute, Bev, what about the scripture about the man going through the needle of the eye and the camel and all that stuff like that, the rich man and all that? So there's some other like stuff that we have to dig through as well as believers to kind of get us from that place of, you know, hey, it's okay for me, you know, because there's also scripture that says, you know, for God gives me the power to create wealth. And, you know, God takes pleasure in the prosperity of his servant. So us really and truly making sure that we're not twisting the word to serve us for that particular purpose. So, you know, Leslie, let's kind of fast forward a little bit. And, you know, I'm always about being transparent and honest. So you kind of said, you know, yeah, my clients were killing it, but then you weren't able to take care of what you needed to take care of at home. And so you then, at the end of last year, you decided to make another stretch. So what was that stretch that you made when it came to working with me toward the end of last year?
Right, absolutely. Well, you always tell us, Bev, that we cannot ask from our clients and the people that we're working with to spend a certain dollar amount that we are not willing to spend on ourselves. And that was something that you really brought home to us as we were coming into the new year. And I really sat on that. I said, you know, I think I might be asking God for some things that I don't really deserve yet. And that was something that kind of I had to toil with for a minute. Like, am I constantly on my knees, crying and worrying and upset, and kind of throwing a tantrum with God about things that I'm not even doing in my own business yet, that I'm not servicing myself with? And so I said, you came about and you had this amazing mastermind, and I knew that it would probably be the most I've ever invested in my coaching career ever. And but I knew that something had to change. And the bottom line is when you know something, you know it's time to change, only you can like talk yourself out of it, and only you can talk yourself into it. There comes a time where it really is just only you and God, and you have to make that decision. And I said, you know what, I'm going to invest. And so my next big leap was the four-figure investment now with the mastermind. And is it uncomfortable? Heck yeah, but it challenges me to not ask, right, for what I'm not giving in my own business. And it has tailored me and shifted me and stretched me to just be a better businesswoman, to be more aware of my finances and what I'm doing with my clients, but also what I'm saying out of my mouth. You know, you work with us a lot in mindset, and what we say is what we have. And so that was the next big shift.
Okay. So you guys, once again, and you hear me say, you know, invest where you are in that sense of it should stretch you. Like you should be like, holy cow, okay, God, literally, God, I'm going to take this first step. I don't know any of the other steps after that. But once again, if we're saying that we're believers, then hey, do you actually trust him? And so that's one of the biggest pieces too, just making sure that you actually stand behind, hey, I am a believer. I'm walking out this faith. We know faith without works is dead and all that awesome stuff. And so Leslie, so here we go, fast forward into the first 2 months into the mastermind. So share with the ladies what happened after she made this decision to invest at a level that she hadn't done before.
Yes. So in January, we kind of got started, and then Beverly laid the groundwork as to what to expect in the mastermind. And it was, look, you know, kind of being at the poker table, like, okay, so you're going to be here to play, or what are you going to do, you know? And so we got through that. But in February is where everything changed. And she challenged us to begin tracking. And this is for my serial entrepreneurs. What was powerful for me in this tracking is that the only thing that we could count, y'all, was our coaching fund, okay? Our coaching dollars. So if it wasn't coaching related, you couldn't count it, which means my lipsticks for Mary Kay didn't count. All sorts of other things that I do didn't count. It had to be exclusively coaching. And for me, that changed the game, because I was kind of just throwing all my business money in one pot, guilty, right? And calling myself rich, when really, I really couldn't see what was going where and what was going where. So we started tracking feverishly February 1, and we had to set our goal in the very beginning and then run for it. And it had to be like a crazy goal. It had to be an audacious goal. It had to be a God goal, is what I call them. It's something that you just don't think that you'd be able to do, right? And so I did that. And I think I had only set 4 figures, I think. I was just like, nope, 4 figures is where I'll stay. I'm good here. I'm good here. And so, and then when I had almost hit that within the first week, she said, nope, I guess you have to go up a notch. And so we had to keep adjusting the number. But it was all God. I kind of put the number out there and said, Lord, have your way. This is what I want to do with my coaching business. Guide me, as he's always done. Every time I work with Beverly, I know it's in alignment and I know it's ordained. And you have to be careful who you're in alignment with, and what time and season in your business, or it will not work. So if you're sitting there like, why have I tried all these other coaches and nothing seems to work? You have to ask yourself, are you in alignment with the coach that you've hired? You know? And so we set this goal, and I literally just began to track only my coaching clients and only the things that I had under my coaching umbrella, and it was life-changing.
There we go. And Leslie, and you guys, and we see the comments and everything too, so we are not ignoring you guys. I'm seeing it. Monique, because she's another mastermind sister, she was like, yes, it gets uncomfortable. And so Leslie, you said a couple of things that I kind of want to peel back the layers a little bit on. And so you mentioned tracking. You guys, look, and I know for some people, I'm not their cup of tea, because I talk about revenue a lot. But you guys, as CEO, and we are kingdom driven, and I get it. But you guys, we are also entrepreneurs. And so when you have a target that you're shooting for, it makes it so much easier, because I see people all the time, well, you know, it's not about the money. It's not about it may not just be about the money, but if you are really and truly in here and you want your business not just to be an expensive hobby, you need to make sure that you're looking at your numbers. You can't run around here and say that you're an entrepreneur, that you're a CEO, and you're not looking at your numbers, especially when it comes to the revenue. So if that's not your thing, I am not the coach for you. So that's the first thing. The second thing was they have a tracker. And so I'm like, look, ladies, you can't say that you're about the numbers and this is a financial goal that you want to hit, but you don't know what's coming in your business on a daily basis. So that was the tracker that Leslie's talking about. Like literally they track, they have this tracker where they track daily what's coming in. So that way, and it's on a spreadsheet. So that way they can look and see, okay, you know, are there certain days of the month where maybe like the first week of the month of every month, I'm not generating any revenue? Or do I have holes in the middle of the month? Or do I have holes at the end of the month? You know, so that way you can kind of see those patterns. You guys, you have to know your numbers. Make sure you know your numbers. So that was awesome what Leslie said as far as that tracker. Like she said, that helped to keep her on track. And then that other piece, and you guys, I say this all the time, you guys, you have to be careful, especially as believers, of who you are aligning yourself with in this coaching realm. Because once again, first of all, you shouldn't have to worry about, oh my gosh, you know, do they have these beliefs that I don't believe? You know, are they talking about they literally get in bed with the devil every night? If that's the case, no, you guys, there's too many people in the kingdom that are amazing and successful where you get to have a choice, you get to decide. And that's the thing. Like, I don't want us to go outside of the kingdom because we don't feel like there are options inside the kingdom, because it's not true. So that piece. And then Leslie, when you made the comment about, you guys also be careful with the coach that you hire. And I talked about this in my group, because whatever money mindset they have, especially if they're talking to you about generating revenue, that's going to become you as well. So if they have a scarcity and a lack mindset when it comes to money, or wait a minute, Leslie, you might not want to price that at, $5,000 because, your people, they don't like to buy. You guys, I'm telling you, when they have that type of mindset, that's then projected on you as well. So you certainly want to make sure that you're paying attention to that as well. So, okay, Leslie, so you set this goal and you had this goal. And so what happened at the end of that month? It was the end of February. So by the time you got to the end of February, what had you discovered now that you were intentional about tracking your numbers?
Oh my goodness, everybody. So I think $12,000 later, I realized that I could coach. And so I realized that I think I had a gift, and that I should be charging for it. And I most importantly realized that there were people waiting on me to charge more. And guys, that was everything to me without crying on this video, right?
No
Like,
crying,
I don't know how many of you are
no crying.
I know I did my makeup and everything. But I don't know how many of you are like sitting in this comfortable place because you're worried that there's not enough people on the other side. And I said that with part of my testimonial for the road to 5K, but that was really a hang up for me. I was like, I don't want to leave the people that pay me on a regular basis. How do I do that? And I don't know if there's anybody on the other side. And there were people in my life now that I would have never met at the price point. That is the bottom line. I would have never met them at the price point that I had before. And there's a huge conversation in the coaching industry now, where is it about respect? Is it about price point? How much do you give away for free? But at the end of the day, I mean, I might as well have been free, and I didn't know it. I thought because I had a price point that I was being valued, and it just wasn't true. And so at the end of February, I had hit my first 5-figure month. Mind you, I had only prayed to God for a 6-figure year. So let that sit with you.
Yes, and yes. And Leslie, so you touched on something, and you guys, this is the thing. I'm all about tapping. You'll hear me say tapping into your current audience, like the people that are in. So if you're in Facebook groups, your personal page, using your social media. So Leslie, did I have you guys go out and do any Facebook ads? No. Did I have you guys go out and spend 20 hours updating a website?
No.
Have I even mentioned anything about your website? Leslie,
no.
Do you have a website, Leslie? I don't even know if you have one. Do you?
We're working on it. My website was not down. My website was down during my 5-figure month. No.
You guys, do you hear that? So many of us are focused. And Leslie, I didn't tell you, hey, Leslie, for your coaching program, go out and create a sales page. Did I have you create a sales page?
No.
You guys, and so many of us focus on this other stuff. It's busy work, is what it is. So Leslie hit 5 figures in her business. Like I said, I didn't even know she had I didn't know. I just asked. I'm like, Leslie, do you even have a sales page? So my thing is, I show you guys how to go out, and I'm going to say this, attack the people that are in your current audience. That's what you do. And so you guys, that's what it's about, like using those organic strategies to start off. And then we go to scaling up to using other things. But you guys, so many of you guys are focused on, oh, I have to have this big email list, and oh, I have to. Leslie, do you have your own Facebook? Like, do you have your own Facebook group?
I have my own Facebook group. Yes.
Okay. But is it a free Facebook group? Is it free?
It's a free Facebook group now.
Gotcha. Okay, there we go. Okay. And so, so Leslie, for you, so you guys heard her. She didn't do anything to do this. She went right there to her. Yeah, we haven't even talked about sales page. You guys, we're making it too hard. We're making it too hard. We're making it too hard. And so, Leslie, for you, so once again, it wasn't like she went out and got any new people. So some of us are sitting on, well, Bev, these people in my circle, they're not going to pay that. They're not going to do this. They're not, you know what? You know why they're not going to pay it? Because you already said they weren't. Because your prices are $50 and you can't even sell the $50 stuff. You guys, I'm telling you, the people right here in your circle right now are waiting to pay $5,000, $10,000, $50,000. I'm telling you right now, really and truly. So Leslie, who did you have to become to hit this 5-figure mark? Who did you have to become?
For me, I've had to become the unapologetic coach. I used to apologize a lot for why my prices were the way they were. I used to apologize about my availability. I used to apologize about if people didn't get results, even though if they didn't do the work. I said sorry a lot. And so I had to just become the unapologetic coach. And I was tempted to even add it to my tagline. Like now I just say the price. I did it today and got it. And so it's life-changing what you learn with Beverly. You have to say that price and get quiet is what she talks about, because you'll talk yourself out of it and your next client out of it too. And a lot of that just comes with confidence that this is the price, and you step back. And you allow people to make the decision based on what they need. And so I stopped saying sorry and I started pricing. I'm getting emotional. I stopped saying sorry and I started pricing not only what I think it should be, but what I deserve.
And that's it. Once again, you guys, as females, as women, we have to stop asking for permission to be awesome, because we're, first of all, but because of whose we are, we're already that. We are already awesome. So we don't have to beg anybody. We don't have to plead anybody. No. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I'm charging this amount, but it's because, no, it is, but it is. I've spent all these years getting to this point in this place here where I can boldly say, yes, I charge $44,900. Yes, this program is $10,000. And once again, be unapologetic about the fact that I'm awesome and I can do what I need to do. Period. So yes. So Leslie, tell me, hitting that type of milestone in your business, how did that impact you and your family? So let's talk about how it impacted your family. How did that impact your family?
Well, first and foremost, I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but I got a townhome. And this is a townhouse that, guys, that I had been praying for. Beverly had no idea, but we had looked at this house for several years and just kind of came back and kept looking at the model. And just walking around and saying, oh, it'd be nice to live here. And so because of that change and because of that switch and the sacrifice, right, I really had to lay on the altar and say, God, just take away everything about me, all of my hangups, all of my personal issues. Help me get out of the way of what you're trying to do with me, right? How many of us need to do that prayer? Because he's trying to do something, but we keep standing in the way. And so I finally had to just say, get me out of the way. Whatever that looks like, whatever that takes, just remove me so that you could do what you need to do in me. And so now, April 4th, we moved into that home that we had looked at for several years. My son now has a 1-bedroom. And can I share something even more intimate and not even like my close network knows this? I was in a 1-bedroom apartment. Not many know that. My son and I sharing a bedroom, and I called that sacrifice. But the difference is between sacrifice and knowledge, guys, and don't get like Beverly said, that the enemy will have you take scripture and twist it. God is not a God of lack, and you shouldn't be running your businesses and struggling, right? That is not scriptural. And so I used to say, oh, well, I'm sacrificing, and that's why I'm in this 1-bedroom apartment, and God will just bring us what we need when we're supposed to get it. But that is not scriptural. And we deserved this house, and I went forward and I did what I had to do, and I got my keys, And he's just continued to elevate me. People, and get this, watch this, because not only will God change you, but he'll change the people that follow you. Come on, somebody. I don't know who it's for, but the people who used to pay me the $27, the $47, they're stepping up now and saying, Leslie, you've always deserved this. Here's more. Here's 3 figures. Here's 4 figures. So he's even changing the people, that I never thought would change. I had a faithful follower today who paid me at that lower level and did 3 figures today. So he'll not only change you, but he'll change the people that are connected to you.
We said no crying, right? That's what we said, right? Okay. And so you guys, I need you guys to catch what Leslie just said. I am such a firm believer that God is waiting on us to step into who he has called us to be. And you guys, that's the thing. He is literally waiting like, daughter, it's all yours. I've already told you it's all yours. But you have to step into that knowledge of what I have for you. You guys, he did not place this business in your spirit for you to continue to struggle at this business, for you to continue to operate in that lack and that doubt and that fear. You guys, first of all, we know that that's not of God. We already know that he has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And so you guys, will scary things come? Like when you are exposed to something that's new and something different, will you pause? Will you hesitate? Will you feel that feeling of fear? Yes. Like you guys, that's normal. But I always say, what are you going to do with that fear? Will you allow it to continue to keep you where you are? Or will you say, you know what? I know exactly where you're from. I know exactly what you're about. But I know what my Father has told me here. I know what he has told me because these are the promises he's given me. I know what's in his word. And that's what you do. You guys, you have to continually make sure that the stuff that we just say, so it comes so readily on our lips when it comes to scripture. But the question is, are you actually living that thing? Do you actually believe it? Or are you just saying it because, hey, that's the right thing to do? That's what I'm supposed to say as a Christian. You guys, we have to check ourselves with that, period.
Yeah. And Beverly, to add to that, I stand on the scripture, but I wouldn't really live in this one as well. I stand on we have not because we ask not. And when I tell you how many people have told me, well, Leslie, you didn't ask. It's not that I wouldn't have paid you that. You didn't ask for it. And so that is enough that should just make you run around your house right there. If there's somebody at home now that is, you got to ask on your tongue, but you're so terrified to ask. But there's somebody that just wants you to ask. I can't tell you how many times I've cried in my living room because Beverly told me to get up off the floor, right? Get up off the floor. Remember who you are and how powerful you are. I'll share with you, just a couple of weeks ago, I was so down. I was so depressed. I had lost a couple of clients. I didn't know what was happening. I was supposed to be happy. I just got my house and everything should be great, right? And it's hard when you feel like you have to put on, right? You can't cry in front of your public, right? You can't let the mascara run. But sometimes you need to let it run so that people know that you're human, so that people know that you fall down, so that people know that somebody had to come to your house and pray you out too. And it was such a dark time and I couldn't go live. I could barely get out of bed. I didn't know what was going on. And I said, God, just tell me what it is. Where have I messed up? And he said, you got comfortable. I gave you keys and you got comfortable. I gave you this and you got a little comfortable. So even as you begin to elevate, you still have to continue the affirmations, guys. And a good friend of mine, I dedicated an article to her last week. She said there's different demons at every level. I hope you didn't think you left them at that low tier. There's just different ones now. And so I actively have a mindset coach. I never thought in a million years I'd hire a mindset coach. This bubbly girl needs a mindset coach, right? But I needed a mindset coach because now he figures if he can't get to my money, he'll get to my mind. But you have to be one step ahead of him. Come on, y'all. You got to be one step ahead of him. So as you get more stuff, you got to get more Jesus. And that's just the bottom line.
Yes, yes. And Leslie, you hit on something. You guys, this is, I don't know if it's one book that I always recommend to people is The Big Leap. The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And what that book talks about, and Leslie just spoke on it, is you guys, usually when you have a really high, so Leslie had her really high in January. And then after that, she had some lows that happened right after that. because you guys, she's at this place now where she's never been. She's broken outside of her comfort zone. And now here go her ego. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute, Leslie. We can't do this. No, ma'am, no. Because what happens if, and so then it was things that started happening that tried to put her back to what she was used to, back in her comfort zone. But you guys, when you're aware of what's going on, those things that happen. So once again, when you have that really high like that, then you know, okay, wait a minute. I know the enemy is coming after me because I've just experienced something powerful. And now you want to make sure that you're aware, hey, I have to make sure that I stay on my guard, because Leslie just hit it. Hey, I got comfortable. Like, look, y'all, boom, look what I did. Hey, I did this. And then it's like, wait a minute, Leslie, like, you know, now you have to ask yourself, what's the game plan I want to put in place to make sure that I continue at this rate so that I don't end up back in the space that I'm in. So Leslie, like she said, she ended up with you guys in this thing. When I tell you, if you as an entrepreneur are not doing things daily to work on your mindset, and like I said, y'all know I love Jesus. I love my Jesus. I love my God. And you guys, I love my Bible and my scripture. But you guys, some of us, you need to make sure that you have other people in your circle, like I said, that's going to be able to identify what's going on with you. Like I always say, call you out on your mess. Because even sometimes with Leslie hop in my inbox. I'm like, okay, Leslie, you done? You good? Okay, now what we gonna do about it? Because you guys, I'm telling you, yes, you need those moments, but then you have to say, okay, what am I gonna do next to get myself on out of here and keep it moving? You guys, you have to. So that's why I'm always talking about you guys. Who's in your circle? Look around at the people that are in your circle. Are they having, like I said, on the struggle bus with you as far as, hey, these people don't ever want to pay. These people always doing this. These people always doing that. You guys, if that's the people in your circle, you need to level up. So I'm always posting my Facebook. Hey, you guys, somebody in my circle just closed a $25,000 deal paid in full. Somebody in my circle just closed a $20,000, deal. And today I'm in because you guys, as a coach, you should have a coach, point blank, period. As a coach, you should have a coach, point blank, period. And so even with my coaching program that I'm in, my accountability partner, we were matched up today. This woman has had multi-7-figure businesses. I'm like, come through, God, come through, God, come through, God. Because you guys, I'm telling you, if you are not leveling up, if you are not seeing that stuff in your circle, I'm telling you, you will not get to realize that it is powerful stuff. People are doing, you guys, people that are closing 5-figure deals, that are making 6 figures, multi-6 figures, they are having different conversations, period. Okay? So Leslie. So you guys, we have gotten to see this progression with Leslie. So Leslie, as we close this out, tell us, like, what has been your biggest takeaway in this process of, you know, where we kind of started and where you are now? What are some of your biggest takeaways?
You know, well, you mentioned, Beverly, the correlation between what I was investing and what I'm getting. And for me, that was probably one of the biggest takeaways, that if I want more, I have to give more. I have to release this money and not be fearful. Pay who I need to pay. My God, pay who I need to pay so that I can get to where I need to go. And to not be fearful. You know, I think sometimes we hold God accountable just like we do man. And so we worry, will he carry us from one month to the next, 1 year to the next? And, you know, when I look back over, I had a good friend. She said, Leslie, sit down and look at just your rent, what you just paid last year. And she said, calculate that. And I did. And it was mind blowing. You know, you don't remember the ebbs and flows. And so just how he carried you last year, he's going to carry you this year, right? He's not a God that's going to let you down. Man does that. God doesn't do that. He's consistent. And so I had to learn that, okay, if I want to elevate at this level, then I got to invest at this level. Bottom line, and there's no cheat sheet for that. You cannot invest at the free and the 2-figure level and ask God for 6 figures. It just does not work like that.
Boom.
I'm real sorry. I am real sorry about that. When you make money in your business, or percentage of it, and this is what Beverly is teaching me now, and I thank God for even just the financial assessment and the training and the trimming that I had to do there, right? Maybe you need to eat out a little bit less. Maybe you need to tailor your life so that you can invest where you need to invest. One less pizza night is not going to kill you. You know, it's okay. And so, you know, just learning that what I want, I have to give, I have to invest at that level. And if that means a few sacrifices here and there so I can do that, I'm going to do that. The second thing is mindset. I work so hard in the trenches. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a worker bee. And so I know how to work and I know how to pray. But I didn't realize the one thing that he would come for is my mindset. And it's a scary thing, guys, when you are generally a happy-go-lucky person and you wake up one morning and don't want to get out of bed. If you've ever experienced that before and you can't articulate it to anyone, you don't know what's going on. So I had to quickly get somebody else in the ranks, someone on the front lines, to help me understand what was happening with my mindset. So the next thing I would say is that I took away that I need more people on the front lines for me, that when I need to step back and I need to take care of Leslie, that's okay, that I should be raising up other leaders and other people to step in front of me sometimes and hold this cross when it gets too heavy, and that does not make me weak or irresponsible, but that it makes me even more responsible because I'm leading others to do the same for other people when I'm not available. So just pulling on other coaches, getting in a higher level circle, up leveling, being in different rooms. You know, Bev said sometimes we get too comfortable being online. You know, I didn't realize how much I stopped going outside. I was not going to events, guys. I was at home quite comfortable. And so I've had to get back out and close contracts and make sure that my schedule is balanced. So those would be the biggest takeaways: lifestyle, finances, keeping God first, empowering others to do the same, and just becoming a better businesswoman all the way around.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And so, Leslie, as we end this thing, because my goal, you know, was 30 minutes. I always tell y'all 30 minutes. Y'all, I'm sure I'm going to do it one day. I'm going to do it one day. So, Leslie, what do you say to that person that's either watching this live or they're watching the replay and they're kind of like on the fence, you know, with moving forward, something that they may see, there's something I'm putting out, or even, you guys, even just the, you know, when it comes to, oh my gosh, you know, what if I purchase this and it doesn't work, or what, you know, that person is kind of sitting on the fence when it comes to working with me, or they're saying, well, okay, Bev, I'm gonna work with you next week, or Bev, I'm gonna work with you next month. Like, what do you say to that person?
What I say to that is scared money doesn't make money. And so, you know, you're going to have times where you're like, oh my God, did I just pay that? Did I just do that? We all have those moments, right? And that's not on Facebook Live. That's not in a pretty graphic. But we all are sitting at home like, I just hit the payment button. So, and that's okay. But you have to do it. You have to do it today. You have to do it now, because tomorrow is not promised. And we all know that. And if anyone that is attached to your legacy and what you're building, you know, one thing that was said to me that was powerful last year is that if I died today, could my businesses keep running without me? And if that answer is no, then you got to make a shift so that you can start working on residual income, working on a stable foundation, working on something that you can leave a blueprint for someone else to come behind you and follow. And you need a coach to do that. And I just recommend Beverly.
Thank you, Leslie. I'll pay you after the live. Thank you. But you guys, I'm telling you, you guys, just to see this progress from Leslie, once again, charging $197, $290, whatever that crazy number was, to work with her for 3 months. And you guys, I always say,
I started at 25.
Oh, we're not even gonna talk about that. We're not even gonna talk about that. Yes.
We have to edit that chapter.
Yes, we will. We will. And you guys, like I'm saying, those of you that keep hollering out, yes, I want 5-figure, you know, I want 5-figure months. Yes, I want to generate 6 figures in my business. First of all, Leslie said to get there, you cannot do that on freebies. You cannot do that on $27 offers, point blank period. You're not going to be able to hit 6 figures in your business by doing that. So first of all, we need to release that. You can't expect people to invest in your coaching if you're not investing in your coaching. So that was one key piece. And then this part right here. First of all, Leslie, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for coming on in here and being transparent. I want to thank you for, you know, answering that call, because this right here, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. And then being a Christian entrepreneur is definitely not for the faint of heart. So Leslie, I want to thank you for entrusting me with your coaching business. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And so you guys, like I said, I'm going to leave you with this piece right here. You know, when it comes to you investing in your business, I always say be careful about who you're investing with. Sometimes we see these people with these big names and these big followings, and you're trying to copy what they're doing. But remember, they have the teams, they have the people that are doing things that you're not even seeing behind the scenes. And you want to look at, are they getting the results? Is this what I need right now in my business? What do I need right now in my business? And so that's what what you want to make sure that you align yourself with. What do I need right now in my business? So you guys, like I said, we will leave you with that. Leslie, thank you so much. Those of you that hopped on in here, thank you so much for joining us. You guys, those of you that are in the Facebook group. So once again, highly successful Christian female coaches and consultants. Remember, my goal is for you guys in that group to hit your revenue goals every month. You guys, as believers, we should, I say this, and I leave you guys with this. You know, when it comes time for us to make an investment in anything, personally or professionally, the reason that you do not make that investment should not be because you did not have the funds. Once again, we should not buy something because you didn't have the money. That's not how we need to be operating as believers. It needs to be, hey, you know what? That's not aligned with the goal that I have right now. Hey, that's not a part of what I need or what I'm desiring in my life right now. Not because you look at your bank account like, oh my gosh, it's not there. No. And once again, it is all about us operating in that abundance, because you guys, it's so much easier for you to really and truly make that impact in the world that you desire to have when you're not worried about the money. When it's time for you, hey, you guys, as part of this right here, we need somebody that's able to write a $25,000 check, and you write that $25,000 check with no problem. That's where I want us to be as believers that are entrepreneurs. So our faith-based entrepreneurs, that's where I want you guys to be, where you're writing that check. You don't even have to worry about looking at what's in the bank. You're in the store, you go ahead and pick it up. You don't have to worry about it. You need to make that trip across the globe to speak to these women about how to come out of these situations that no longer serve them. You don't have to worry about, hey, let's go ahead and get this stuff taken care of. You guys, that's where we desire to be. So once again, making that shift to hitting your 5 figures in your business, going ahead and hitting that 6-figure mark in your business, it can certainly be done. But you certainly want to make sure that, like I said, you're doing it in alignment with who you are and whose you are. So you guys, that's all that I have. I want to know who's going to be my next case study. I'm telling you guys, those 5-figure months, that 6-figure, we can all have it. So I want to know who's going to be my next case study. So you guys, that's all that I have. Here we are on this particular day, as we go into the weekend. And so you guys enjoy it. I pray that some of you guys, this gives you some things to think about. And so when you start the new week, you come out ready to take on everything that God has for you. So you guys, take care, take care, take care.